Choosing a school is really difficult, but I have never felt like I should have gone somewhere else.
The thing I like about the school, the class sizes are smaller.
Making friends is easier here because of the fact that you are such a tight-knit community.
I was shooting around a basketball. That's how I met my first friend.
You meet a lot of new people from different areas of the world.
I feel like I've grown so much here.
And there's so many amazing people that work here to learn from.
I definitely made the right decision coming to Husson.
Hello and welcome to Newman Gymnasium. We're going to send it down courtside first for senior night.
To go along with 27 steals. She has amassed 165 career three-pointers for a career 368 percentage. And came into the week needing just 101 points to surpass 1,000 for her career. Earlier this season, Vanessa joined an elite club, becoming one of the select few Eagles to surpass 250 assists per career, standing at 264 coming into this weekend's games. Vanessa has been a part of 2 NAC championships as an Eagle and added a NAC East Division title last season. Coach Walker had this to say about Vanessa. Vanessa has worked her tail off, training hard in the off seasons to prepare her game. Every year she's come back in great improvement. Vanessa runs the show for us. She is a floor general when we want the ball in her Vanessa's hands. She is the glue that keeps us together. Vanessa is quick, hard-nosed, a pesky guard who brings energy to the floor. Vanessa is the type of player every coach wants their players to be like. She never takes a possession off. She doesn't rest. She goes hard every single minute. Vanessa is also an outstanding student with a GPA of 3.977 as an undergrad and a 4.0 graduate student. She is majored in criminal justice with a minor in psychology and 2 certificates in national security and pre-law. Currently, she is pursuing her master's degree in criminal justice administration. She was inducted in the Criminal Justice Honor Society and the Psychology Honor Society, and also received the Excellence in Legal Studies as a 3rd-year award. Vanessa is supported today by her mother, Maureen, and sister, Bridget. Let's give a round of applause for Vanessa Brewer.
Tell them that they're going to have 5 more minutes, that players have 5 more minutes to warm up. Can you guys fill 5 minutes? Alright, now you can do your normal. Ready? Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's broadcast here at the Newman Gymnasium on the campus of Husson University. I'm Reese Dannenberg. To my right is Avery Henningsen, and we are getting set to bring you a North Atlantic Conference matchup between the Thomas College Terriers and Husson University Eagles. These 2 teams actually met last night in Waterville, and it was Husson that came out on top 66-54 behind Bailey Donovan's 19 points and 22 rebounds. Husson also came away with 15 steals last night as well, so getting it done defensively really sealed the deal for them, Avery.
Yeah, they've been having that a lot this season, Reese, that we've seen them play some really great defense. Obviously, they're a great offensive basketball team, but they also have that skill that they can guard these top teams in the conference.
That's right. And speaking of conference play, these two teams come into today on the opposite ends of the conference with reversed records in conference play. 8-1 currently for Husson and 1-8 so far for Thomas. So different viewpoints so far in this one. Thomas also is a very young team with a first-year head coach here and 10 freshmen on the team as well, no seniors. So very young, a little bit inexperienced team. You know, kind of expect them to go through these struggles at this point. Husson, fresh off a win last night after dropping a game to Maine Maritime on Tuesday. What do you think, Avery, they need to do? What do you think they need to look on, improve on as the season is winding down and conference tournaments coming up?
I think it's that defense we talked about earlier. Obviously, they're a great defensive team, but Maine Maritime kind of exploited them a little bit in that game, and obviously they're going to get a rematch later in the season to potentially determine some of that playoff seeding for the women's conference. Obviously, this Husson team is 8-1 and is right up near at the top, and it's certainly going to be interesting to see what they adjust going into that Maine Maritime game. Obviously, they still have some games against Linden to come and Umpy next Tuesday, but I think a lot of these games in this late part of the season are going to be used to kind of knock off a little bit of rust and kind of fine down those details that they've struggled with for the whole season.
Exactly. Husson 14-6 overall in this one, or coming into this one, excuse me. 5-0 at home so far, looking to stay undefeated at home. The student section has been great this year to give both the men and women a huge boost at home. They've been very loud. Today, as mentioned before, also senior day for the lone senior, Vanessa Duart. I believe they said one of the very few players to hit 250 career assists. She's only 100 points, I believe, away from 1,000. Great three-point shooter, 37% on her career. She's had a great career so far.
Yeah, and some of the stats, too, that don't get put into the record book are some of those leadership roles. And Duart isn't the biggest player on the court by any means, but she's one of the hardest workers. I think they mentioned that in the little speech they gave her there during the intro, that she's someone who puts in the work on the court and off the court to be the best she can be, and she's certainly done it over her time here at Husson.
Yeah, off the court as well, as you mentioned, like they said, 3.97 GPA to go along with that brilliant play on the court as well. So she's really excelled at in her time here at Husson.
And that's hard to do when you're an athlete as
Yes.
well as a student. That it's one thing to get that grade, high GPA, when all you're doing is focusing on school, but these women play and they practice every day of the week during the season. They have practices and workouts throughout the off season, and it's definitely a big achievement to achieve that really strong GPA as well as being one of the best players on the court at the same time.
Yes, very impressive. We are just about set for this one. We are going to send it down courtside yet again to hear the starting lineups and the national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Newman Gymnasium on the campus of Husson University for today's North Atlantic Conference matchup featuring the Terriers of Thomas College and your Husson University Eagles. At this time, we ask you please rise and honor America with the playing of our national anthem. let's read the starting lineups for today's game. First for the visiting Carriers, a junior from New Gloucester, Maine, number 10, Samantha Fortune. A junior from Oakland, Maine, number 13, Brian Ginecki. A freshman from Mount Desert Island, Maine, number 20, Elena Alderman. A freshman from Holt, Maine, number 23, Mia Henderson. And a freshman from Alderman, Maine, number 35, Jocelyn Jordan. Thomas is coached by Jason Coleman and is assisted by Katie McAllister. And now the starting lineup for your Husson University Eagles. At guard, a sophomore from Calais, Maine, number 4, Sophia McVicker. At guard, a junior from Tampa, Florida, number 14, Carly Price. At guard, a junior from Smyrna Mills, Maine, number 21, Michaela Porter. At center, a junior from Island Falls, Maine, number 30, Kaylee Donovan. And at guard, a graduate student from Hawthorne, New York, number 34, Vanessa Tua. The head coach for Husson in their 32nd season is Christy Walker. He's assisted by Randy Dodge, Lori Gott, and Steve Watsonfield.
All right, we are just about ready to get going here. Avery, what are some things you're going to look for right away for Husson to take control of, to seize control of the game?
I think they're going to want to start out fast and try to get those three-point shots open. You have Duarte and some of these good shooters out there that they're going to try to take some shots early in this one, I think.
And as we see Thomas come out in a zone too, so definitely going to be a few openings as Duarte drives in. Can't finish on the lay-in though. And here comes Beckney the other way. Benecki, excuse me. Here is Benecki being guarded by Price up top. Now swings it over to Henderson. Alderman swings a pass over to Fortin. Henderson with it now, being guarded by Donovan. Fortin tries to give a bounce pass, and that one gets stolen by Price, who dives on the floor for it. Jump ball will remain with Thomas here.
Yeah, and that was just a little bit too far away from Price. She kind of got a hand on it, but then it kind of bounced away from her, and just a little bit too far from her to get that possession for the Eagles. And already we've seen a couple turnovers in this one, Reese, that you saw Duarte miss a layup that she doesn't normally miss out there, but obviously it's the first 30 seconds of the game. You're not always going to be prime and ready to go right off the bat. And then you saw that one there where it was the Eagles played some really smothering defense. That Thomas team didn't have a shot early on in that one.
Which we've seen a lot the past few games. This Husson defense really playing some smothering up in your face, really intense defense the past few games. And it looks like the refs are talking over the shot clock issue. They originally had reset the shot clock to 20 seconds for Thomas, but the ball never hit the rim, so it'll be 1 second on the inbound here from Henderson underneath the hoop. Gets it into Jordan, and that shot gets blocked, and they are going to call a shot clock violation. So a great defensive possession to start off the game for Husson. Here's Duarte now. Swings a pass in the corner to Porter, who knocks down a mid-range jumper. And Husson comes out in a full court trap here, as Price will come away with a steal. McVicker to Porter, down low to Donovan, cannot finish, but the foul will be called on Jordan. And Bailey Donovan will go to the free throw line.
Yeah, and some great passing there from the Eagles on that one. Obviously, Donovan couldn't finish it, but it looked like she kind of got hit in the arm as she was going up for that one. And she makes the first one, so the Eagles are already off to that start that I think Coach Walker wanted in this one.
Bailey Donovan's second free throw is good as well. She comes into this one 85%. Really up in the percentages, shooting the ball great so far this season. Full court trap here again. Pass goes over to Henderson in the corner. Puts up a three. That one's no good. Donovan comes down with the rebound. She had 22 against this Thomas team last night.
Yeah, and that was a career high for her last night, Reese. And you can see it. She's always working on her game, that she's getting better as the season goes on.
Helen Porter with another mid-range jumper. Puts that one in. 6-0 our score early on here as the full court trap comes into effect. Porter with the steal now. The jump ball possession arrow points towards Husson. Excuse me, possession arrow points towards Thomas. They will take control of the possession again. Inbound comes into Alderman on the right side. She picks up her dribble. Kick out to Henderson. Now over to Fortin. Tries to get it down low to Jordan, who gets double teamed on the block. Another jump ball. Duarte, the one fighting there for it. Possession arrow will go to the Eagles.
Yeah, and the Eagles last night scored 25 points off steals against this Thomas team, who coming into this matchup has been averaging about 25 turnovers a game, and it's something they're going to want to work on in this one if they're going to want to keep up with this hot Eagles team.
McVicker, catch and shoot is made from the corner. She's up to 40% shooting from three on the year. She gets her first shot to drop in this one. Price with almost another steal. Porter gets called for the foul, diving on the floor for that one.
Yeah, and this Thomas team is struggling to get through that full court defense that you were talking about. That doesn't seem like they can really make it past half court, and they certainly haven't really had a true shooting opportunity other than that corner three that we saw where there was a little bit of a defensive error out there that nobody was covering her. And the Eagles right now are playing that good defense that they're known for.
Here's Fortin with it up top, being guarded by Donovan. Tries to get a pass. That's Alderman trying to get a pass down low. Knocked away by Donovan. Here's Duarte with a great outlet pass up to Porter, who feeds it down low to Donovan. Can't finish. McVicker grabs the offensive rebound, and here's Duarte to reset the offense. Duarte will shoot a three now. Comes up short. Gets her own miss. Porter comes up short as well, and it's Benecki going the other way. That pass stolen by Donovan. Up ahead to Price. Duarte now with it on the left side. Donovan high post. Duarte will catch and shoot again. And that one is good. And Thomas will take a full timeout. Husson jumping out to a 12-0 lead. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Husson Eagles Sports Network. Welcome back. First quarter in this one. 6 minutes and 17 seconds remaining here. Husson up to a 12-0 lead early in this one. Fortin trying to break the press. That pass gets tipped away by Donovan. It'll be Thomas basketball underneath the hoop with 23 seconds on the shot clock.
Yeah, and Thomas can't handle this Husson defense right now. They just can't really work it up into the offensive zone. Obviously, it's difficult. You can't really float a pass in over the top. You have Donovan back there, and you have these fast players like McVicker and Duarte up top and Price up there just stealing the ball away as soon as they try to make that pass.
And they're going to say that Henderson stepped on the sideline. So another early turnover here for Thomas. Porter, short corner. Duarte swings it over to McVicker. Drives baseline, puts up a shot. That one's no good. Jump ball fought for. Possession arrow will point to Thomas, and they will take control. Benecki swings it down the court to Perry, and that one is kicked by Bailey Donovan.
And you could see right there they had players open. You had Mia Henderson over on that far side, but Donovan's she has long arms, and she's obviously quite tall that she can just get in the way of any pass trying to work its way inside, and they're struggling to get passes into the paint right now.
As there's a pass. Porter came away with it. It looked like it might have been tipped by Donovan, though, for another steal. Now Donovan down low, swings it out. Duarte with a pump fake, and then the three. That one's no good. McVicker tries to save it in the corner, but that one will bounce out of bounds. As we have a couple subs for both teams here. Tria Broussard will come in for Thomas, as well as Chloe Labrie. And Lauren Cook and Hannah Richards will come in for Husson, as there is another Thomas turnover. Husson basketball yet again.
Yeah, and the Eagles have their shooters in there right now, Reese. All four of these women out there can shoot, and then you have Donovan inside. This is a dangerous Husson lineup right now along the perimeter for this Thomas Terriers team.
As Donovan comes away with another steal there. Billy Donovan already first quarter up to 4 steals in this one. Richards catches in the corner. Cook now will fire. That one's no good. Rebound tip. Donovan comes down into the hands of Broussard. Now over to Benecki. Being guarded by Cook. Dishes it to Labrie. Perry with it now. She gets fouled by Hannah Richards. It will be Thomas ball underneath. Still scoreless so far in this one, over 5 minutes in. And they're going to call an offensive foul, illegal screen on Broussard. As Bailey Donovan will sub out of the game. Jordan Langle checks in for the first time in this one.
Yeah, and Langle's such an important player for this Eagles team. It allows Donovan to have those breaks, and when they're both out on the court at the same time sometimes, it's almost impossible to get anything inside against them.
As Duarte drives into the lane and puts in the left-handed layup. Looks like Thomas might have gone man-to-man there on that possession. As that is a dangerous pass from Benecki. Swung across court, and there's a steal by Lauren Cook, who drives in, goes up with the left and can't finish. Rebound comes down to Benecki. Finds Coolin now. She'll drive in. And they're going to call that foul on the floor, I believe. And that will be on Hannah Richards again. That'll be her second foul already in this one. Inbound, down low to Perry, and that is the first bucket of the game for Thomas in this one. Stopping the cold streak there. Richards with it up top. Swings it across court. Duarte for three. Nothing but net. 17-2 early on in this one.
Yeah, Duarte already up to 8 points, and she's feeling it on her senior night tonight.
As they're going to call a double dribble there on LeBrie. As number 25, Emily Haggerty, has now checked into the game. 10 freshmen on this Thomas team. Avery, like we mentioned, they all get a pretty good amount of minutes equally amongst themselves. Duarte, the mid-range jumper is also good.
And she's up to double digits, Reese, and she's someone who right now she can't really miss, it seems like, out there.
Lengel almost got a steal there. Another jump ball, already the fourth or fifth one here in this first quarter, Avery. And possession arrow points to Husson again.
Yeah, there's been so many plays where Thomas is trying to fit that pass into some tight windows, and the Eagles are getting fingertips on it. And a lot of them haven't been just like a straight grab and steal, but kind of a, like you said, a jump ball and just getting right in the middle. And the Eagles are doing a great job of just clogging up those passing lanes right now.
A lot of tipped passes, like you mentioned. This Husson defense has been very active yet again. There's a great pass from Duarte, who feeds Richards on the cut, who gets hammered and will go to the free throw line for a pair. Richards at 70% from the line this year. Knocks down the first one. Around 10 points per game. Over 40% from the field overall. She knocks down a pair of free throws right there.
Yeah, and I believe this is the first game all season that Hannah Richards hasn't started, and I think it's more of a matchup thing than anything against her, but she's showing why she's one of those starters who plays a lot of minutes for this team.
There she is with a steal right there. Tries to feed Duarte the hot hand. Can't knock down the contested jumper, though. Here comes Lafferty, who just checked in, going the other way. Feeds Perry. Tries to drive in. Good defense there from Lengel. Can't secure the rebound, though. And they're going to call a kicked ball on McVicker.
Yeah, and that was a little bit unlucky for the Eagles there. There was some great defense, and it just kind of, the ball kind of suspended in air for a second, and McVicker was kind of running through, and it just kind of hit into her knee. I don't think that was an intentional kick ball or anything, but right now the Eagles are just playing some really great defense out there, Reese.
Lafferty can hit a deep three. Here comes Husson the other way. Cook will drive baseline, put up a right-handed shot. That one's no good. Gets her own rebound. And Hannah Richards banks in a three. 24-2 score early on here as there's another steal for Richards and this Husson defense. Cross-court swing. Lauren Cook, another three. That one's no good. Montigny fighting for the rebound, but it will be Husson basketball anyway.
Yeah, I think if Cook had made that one, this place would have been erupting, as the Eagles right now are on just a hot streak, and their defense and their offense at both ends of the court, this is some of the best basketball I've seen the Eagles play this season.
Husson currently leading in this one 24-2 with a minute remaining in the first quarter. Great ball movement here as the ball finds Richards, who finds Lengel in the middle of the lane. Beautiful pass there. She can't finish, but she gets hit on the way up.
The other stat I'd like to point out, Reese, is the 11 steals to 0 for the Eagles right now. That they're getting it done on defense, and it's showing why in this game.
Lengel's first free throw is good. I was just about to mention the 11 steals and the turnovers, the 14 turnovers from Thomas so far because of this defensive pressure that we've seen from Husson. It's kind of become their identity the last few games, is that up in your face, intense defense, playing really scrappy. Love to see it so far, as they've only allowed 2 points here in the first quarter. Haggerty with it. Can't feed that pass in, and there's another steal for Husson.
Yeah, back to that defense you were just mentioning, Reese. What they're doing is they have these quick players out there who can get those steals. That they're very fast and they can play that pressure defense, and they have so many of them that you can sub them in and you allow them to run up and down the court and not waste their energy, but use up that energy and then come out, get some drinks of water, take a break. And then you also have these tall players that they can just stick in the back and just let them kind of be towers back there to not allow anything to reach its way all the way up to the offensive zone, kind of.
As we still see the full court pressure in full effect, as there's another turnover. This one is in the backcourt, as Husson will inbound on the sideline in front of the Thomas bench. Here's Duarte with it. Brings it up top to the volleyball line to reset. Beautiful crossover. This is to Lengel, mid-range jumper, rolls out. Perry comes away with the rebound. Here she is going the other way with it. Perry drives in, can't finish. Lengel with a rebound, tries to feed Cook down the other way. 15 seconds with it, with Haggerty. Fortin now, another rebound to Lengel. 5 seconds, here's Duarte. 3 seconds, Duarte, the pull-up jumper is good. 12 first quarter points for the senior, the only senior on senior night.
What a quarter for her, Reese. She certainly showed her talent and why she is such an integral part of this team.
30-2 our score at the end of one. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Husson Eagles Sports Network. Welcome back, as we are here to start the second quarter of this one. 30-2 our score here. Alderman with it. Tries to feed it up top. There's Lengel with a steal. All the way down, lays it in with the left hand. Yet another steal to start the second quarter. It was the theme of the first quarter.
Yeah, and this is a dangerous grouping that the Eagles have out there with Lengel and Donovan out there that I don't see Thomas getting inside on this group just because of how good that tall defense is for the Eagles right now.
As you mentioned, they have a lot of size and speed on the court right now. The three guards that are out there definitely have the quickness to stay with just about anybody on the perimeter and generate those steals. And as you mentioned, they have both of their bigs in currently right now. So great to see Husson playing strong defensively, especially as the season's winding down. Great to see it in the second half of the season heading into tournament play, as both of those free throws were good from Richards. Henderson with it now. Over to Alderman. Langle almost had another steal there. She's already up to 3 herself as there's a double dribble by Henderson. Great defense from Jordan Langle out on the perimeter.
Yeah, and those fast guards that you mentioned just a minute ago are something that Coach Walker has really built this team around, that you have almost a dozen of them that are, obviously they're not the same player, but they're very similar in the fact that they're all speedy, they're all quick, they're all great defenders, and they can all shoot the ball from anywhere, that it's very hard for teams to play against when you have players like Donovan there who just came in with that great block that you can just stick inside and let her clog up the middle, and then you just have these fast players who can work all around, and they're almost pesky that they can just make these plays that it's hard to even manage to deal with that kind of offense and defensive pressure.
Shot no good. Rebound comes down to Beals. Pushing hard the other way. Now slows it down. Finds Duarte on the right side. Feeds it to Lengel. Cross court swing to Beals. Three-pointer is up. That one is short. Fights for her own offensive rebound and comes away with it. Swing over to Duarte. Back over to Beals. Lengel over to Richards. Beals with it. 15 on the shot clock. Duarte drives in. That one gets partially tipped, I believe. Jordan comes away with the rebound. Can't get the pass off cleanly, though, and it'll be Husson going the other way again. Here is Duarte with it now. Lengel over to Duarte. Donovan. Richards with it now on the baseline. Duarte will put up a deep contested three. That one rolls out. Jordan comes down with a rebound. Here is Henderson coming up the other way. She'll take a pull-up three. That one's no good. Duarte with a great outlet pass. Fantastic pass from Duarte up to Macy Beals, who was leaking out up court. Lays it in for the finish.
Yeah, I think she could have got that one to either Lengel or Beals on that one. That found its way to Beals, but I think it just missed Lengel's fingertips by a hair there. But the Eagles right now are just passing it amazingly well in this one.
Duarte short on a three, gets her own rebound.
And that's two straight shots from her that were just an inch off of going into the basket.
Lengel, the kick out. Richards for three. That one is no good. Husson now at 4 for 11 shooting from deep early on in this one. 4 of 12 from deep. As we have number 10, Layla Martinez. Number 24, Faith Schoberg. And number 33, Lacey Scanlon, all check in for Husson at the same time. And I believe Samantha Fortin for Thomas comes in as well. As there she is with a turnover right there. That'll be the 21st Thomas turnover in this one. Great defense from Husson.
Yeah, and we're still in that first half, Reese, right now. That Thomas is already at what they've averaged for the season, and it's showing how strong this Eagles defense is.
Trying to feed Donovan down low. And they're going to say that pass was not tipped, and it will be Thomas basketball. Here's Coolin now, being guarded by Martinez. Now over to Fortin. Coolin has it again up top. She will drive in, put up a shot, and it will roll in for the and one. Foul will go on Macy Beals.
Yeah, that was a great job by Coolin there to get some points. Obviously, Thomas hasn't had a whole lot of success with that in this game, and she kind of fought for those ones and definitely earned them in this.
A great physical take there. Way to finish through the contact and lay it in. Here's Martinez now. The freshman from right here in Bangor, Maine. Beals will drive in with an acrobatic finish, but can't lay it in. Coolin with it again now. Beats Jordan in the middle of the paint. Ball gets swung over to Alderman on the right side. Fortin with it, 10 seconds, shot clock. Coolin up top. Coolin will put up a deep three at the end of the shot clock. That one's no good. Rebound comes down to Donovan. Just her third rebound already in this one. Schoberg down low. Scaling the kick out to Macy Beals, who's just off on a three. And Coolin cannot control the rebound, and it lands out of bounds.
Yeah, and those 3 rebounds you just mentioned are no fault of Bailey Donovan's. It's more just the Eagles haven't really allowed Thomas to take that many shots. She hasn't gotten those opportunities to get those rebounds. And on the other side, the Eagles have been making most of their shots.
Schoberg off on a three there. Coolin comes with it the other way. Over to Broussard, who has just checked in. Can't lay it in. Offensive rebound to Jordan. And Coolin trying to feed Jordan down low. Scanling will pick up a foul. As Perry will now check back into the game for Thomas. Broussard the jumper. That one is good. Looks like that one was a long 2. Foot was on the line. Martinez with it. Pass gets tipped. Loring just checked into the game. Kick out. Martinez with it, 3-point line. Scanling feeds Beals down low. Finds some space. Can't lay it in. Macy Beals has had a few backdoor cuts in this one that have been very well read. Great job reading the defense, finding the holes.
Yeah, and this is the first time that Thomas has had a little bit of momentum in this game. I think this is also the first time that they've had what looks like a little bit of a size advantage out there. And the Eagles have kind of stopped that full court pressure, but Macy Beals just kind of knocks that momentum over and just brings the Eagles back into the driver's seat.
Momentum was definitely on Thomas' side. That shot from Macy Beals stops a 3-minute, 15-second scoring drought. Still 39-7 in this one. Husson currently 1 of 7, their last 7 field goal attempts, as Scanley cannot get that one to finish. Fortin with it now, being guarded by Martinez. Scanley with a steal. She goes coast to coast and lays it in.
Yeah, and I like the purple cleats as well for her. Obviously this game is, I believe they call it the cancer awareness game that the Eagles basketball programs put on every year. And she certainly showed up on that one, and a great steal and finish from her.
Martinez, the jumper. That one's no good. Loring fights for the offensive rebound. Kick out to Beals for 3. No good. Jordan comes away with it. Her 5th rebound already in this first half. Perry drives baseline. Good move. Good defense also from Schoberg. Can't finish that one. Martinez up ahead. She lays it in. Beals with a great outlet pass there. Broussard down low. She gets fouled on a shot attempt. That will be on Lacey Scanlon. Carly Price will check back into the game for Husson, along with Michaela Porter. And for Thomas, number 24, Paige Lafreniere, number 23, Mia Henderson, and number 23, Chloe Labrie. As the first free throw from Broussard is no good.
She's only shooting about 25% from the line this year, and this is definitely those moments when you want to try to hit those ones. There's still time in this game. It would take, obviously, an incredible run after we saw how dominant the Eagles are, but you still want to keep making those shots and keep moving forward in the game.
As Schoberg hits the wire, the top wire, on a three-pointer, they will call that out of bounds. 22 bench points for Husson in this one out of the 43. So contributions all around. Schoberg with a steal there. Good handle on it, too, to not get it taken away. Martinez tries to shovel a pass over to Porter. Loses control of it, though, and it flies out of bounds. Lafreniere over to Henderson. Drives in, and that one gets rejected by Schoberg. Porter with a beautiful ball fake. Can't get the finish. Loring gets rejected on the putback. And Porter cannot hit the jumper. It's a good outlet pass there. Lafreniere finishes that one. 43-9, our score here. Just about a minute left in the first half. Martinez drives in, can't finish the left-handed floater. And it will be Thomas basketball. Benecki with it now. 45 seconds remaining in the first half. Broussard on the right side. Can't handle that pass, and it will go out of bounds over to Husson.
And the Eagles have certainly had a very dominant first half in this one, Reese. I think it could be a lot worse. Obviously, you haven't had Donovan out there for a good 10 minutes now, but even these bench players, like you said, have been pouring on the baskets and getting those tough plays and playing some great defense out there. And so far, it's just been a dominant all-around team performance from the Eagles.
Yes, that was Carly Price knocking down a three. And they're going to say Henderson stepped out of bounds on the sideline. 19 seconds remaining here in this one, the first half. Porter with it. Loring mid-range jumper. No good. 6 seconds now. Benecki has it. Over to Henderson with 2 seconds. Looks like she might have lost control, or lost sense of the time there. And that is how the first half comes to a close. Husson up 46-9 at the end of the first half. Vanessa Duarte leading the way. 5 of 12 shooting overall for 12 points. Also added 4 rebounds, leading the team in rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, and only 13 minutes of play.
Yeah, a special game for her. I know this was a little bit of a special senior night. Her mother's from New York, and I believe her sister lives in Florida, that they flew up for this one. She's obviously the only senior, so Husson was able to kind of coordinate that a little bit and allow her to have a special night that isn't overruled. Obviously, I think what theoretically would be senior night is that Maine Maritime game, which is going to have a lot of other storylines coming with it, just with end of conference rankings and that kind of stuff, that you don't want to have that get overruled for a very special player in Husson's history.
Great first half for her, carrying the load of the scoring for this team so far. Also, Hannah Richards with 7 points, 3 steals. Ellie Donovan added 4 steals. Pretty much everybody who played has a steal in this one so far. 16 for Husson in the first half. Everybody contributing. 1, 2, 4 players have 2 points. 2 players have 3 points. 2 players have 4 points. Very even scoring throughout here in this one.
Reese, can we just take a moment to mention how adorable this is right now? That I believe this is one of the local young cheer squads that is working with the Husson cheer squad to have a little performance for here at halftime. The Old Town and Orono cheer squads.
As we see some of the Husson women's team stay out and watch along with head coach Kissy Walker. They refuse to go into the locker room. I saw that on the sideline before.
Yeah, and they just got a standing ovation from these. But we'll let you guys keep watching this. We're going to take a little break. Don't go anywhere. This is Husson Eagles Sports Network.
5 years ago, we started this journey of recycling. And with that same ingenuity, with that same innovation, and with that same entrepreneurship, we're approaching our next 45 years. We have an obligation to figure out how we can consume less, how we can recycle more, how we can create more sustainable products, and how we help our customers enable that.
We owe it to the future generations to continue to do better and recycle better.
Hello and welcome back. Second half action about to get started here. About 30 seconds to begin the second half. Avery, we mentioned the defense in the first half, but also the offense coming alive as well. 6 of 17 from beyond the arc, over 35%. Didn't miss a free throw in that first half. What would you like to see coming out of this second half to stay strong?
I think they're just going to keep doing what they did in that first half. That they had some great plays, and that defense was dominant there for a while. I think a lot of those turnovers and a lot of those steals came when they were playing that full court kind of zone pressure thing that was working really well for them. And I think in this second half, we might see some more of that, especially from these starters who are a little bit more experienced with that sort of thing. But on offense, I think you're going to see a lot of the same thing, a lot of passing, a lot of moving the ball around, getting the ball out to the edges and taking those shots. And if Thomas tries to cover that, then you feed it inside to Donovan and let her do her thing.
Donovan already missed a layup to begin this half. Very uncharacteristic of her, as McVicker with a nice move. She drives in and lays it in.
Yeah, Donovan's definitely had a little bit of a slow start to this game. Obviously, I don't think she only played about the first 12 minutes of that first half, but she only has 2 points. She already
hasn't made a field goal yet.
She hasn't made a field goal yet. She has 4 steals, and I think she made a lot of other plays on defense that didn't get put in the stat book, just tip balls, that kind of thing. But it's not something we're totally used for. Obviously,
bounce pass there.
Obviously, last night she had 19 points and 22 rebounds and was dominant in that game, but she's someone that can come alive real fast if you give her those opportunities.
Jordan down low on the block. Had Macy Beals switched onto her. Is able to take advantage of the size mismatch. Here is Beals on the offensive end. Takes a pull-up jumper. No good. Here's Alderman coming down the other way. Being guarded by Cook, who started this half. Henderson will take a 3. No good. Rebound comes down to McVicker. Gets it up court to Duarte, who drives in and lays it in. 14 points for Duarte. Fortin down low. Finds Jordan, who puts up a floater. And that one is able to drop.
Yeah, and Thomas has come out a lot better in this second half, Reese, already. Obviously, it looks like Coach Coleman for Thomas, who, like we mentioned several times, is a new coach, made some adjustments in that halftime.
As McVicker is able to knock down a 3 there. Definitely seeing a different look here early on already from this Thomas offense. Before that McVicker 3, it was currently tied 6-6 already, so they've been keeping up back and forth as they had a look right there. Looks like Fortin just wasn't ready for it, but she was open. They had another layup on that possession, so they're definitely working it around a little bit better, finding better shots, able to knock them down here to start the half.
Well, what they're doing is they're pulling Donovan out of that inside a little bit. They're getting her to come out and play perimeter defense, which she doesn't want to do, obviously, and it's allowing them to kind of float balls in over the top to their teammates inside who are hitting those little short shots. They aren't really a layup and they're not really a jumper, but they're just kind of those in between of that range.
Jordan with it, finds Henderson up top. Over to Alderman in the corner. Alderman down low to Fortin, gets double teamed, triple teamed. Able to find Henderson up top. She drives in. Rebound comes down to Donovan. McVicker coming the other way. She has a hesitation move and is not able to finish. Here comes Alderman, 2-on-1 fast break. Decides to pull it out. Henderson for 3. Here comes Husson the other way again. Back and forth already in this one. Fast-paced second half already. Macy Beals drives in, looking for a foul, doesn't get one.
And I don't think I've ever seen Macy Beals just take a normal kind of layup. All of them are just these kind of athletic performances where she's kind of flinging her body up towards it and trying to make the most out of nothing. And she makes quite a few of them. And it's really she's a fun player to watch out there, that she makes these acrobatic plays and is definitely someone who you can see that athleticism.
Looks like Hannah Richards will check in for Macy Beals now, as we see Jocelyn Jordan go to the free throw line. First one from her rolls around the rim and drops in. 7 rebounds for her already in this one. Second free throw rims out, and Donovan is able to come away with the rebound. That is her 5th board. Richards with it. Gets a couple of screens. Now takes a pull-up jumper and knocks it down.
Yeah, and Donovan's so good at those screen plays inside that there's kind of a brick wall that she sealed off the whole inside, and just nobody could really get to Richards. And Richards found herself with a wide open jump shot right in the middle of the floor. And that's something that is one of those stats that doesn't get put on there that Donovan is so good at.
As Jordan hits a mid-range jumper there, Thomas will take a quick timeout. Take a full timeout. We will take one too. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Husson Eagles Sports Network.
Husson makes it a priority of theirs to make sure each of their students are well-rounded and that we're prepared to go into the future.
I mean, it's very rare to have a college that can emphasize the professor-student interaction, and Husson hits it right on the head.
Instead of just, sitting in the classroom, it's a great way to get hands-on experience. I'm actually out here doing things and seeing how things work.
After being here and meeting the people, I decided this is where I wanted to be, that there was no better option for me.
Back out of the timeout. Duard finds herself open for a 3. Can't knock it down. Husson is able to keep possession, though. Richards in the corner. Now McVicker will try a 3 at the top of the key and knock it down. 60-18. 4.5 minutes remaining in the third quarter of this one. Here's Perry with it, finds some space, puts up a jumper, and is not able to knock it down. As we see Carly Price and McKaylin Porter check into the game for Husson. Who wants to take a moment to thank today's game sponsors? Performance PT, designing a healthier you. Greenway Equipment Sales in Ellsworth and Bangor. Nothing runs like a deer. Governor's Restaurant, life is short, eat dessert first. And Casella, giving resources new life. As we see Thomas take possession here.
Yeah, it looked like Coolin kind of got an elbow to the face there, and they gave her a second to just kind of recover and take that inbound ball from around midcourt.
As that is Benecki driving in. And they're going to call a foul on the floor. Was not in the shooting motion. That'll be the third foul on Richards. Inbound comes to Coolin. Jordan in the middle of the lane now. Coolin being guarded by Price up top. Good defense from Price as Coolin loses her footing. McVicker, another three. No good. Rebound comes down to Porter, though, who's right there to put it back in.
And I think all eyes from Thomas there were on Donovan for that rebound, and they just kind of lost track of Porter on that backside, and she made about the easiest rebound of her life and knocked that one home.
Porter now up to 6 points on this one. As we see Jordan Lengel now check in for Sophia McVicker. So both Donovan and Lengel out on the floor together again. As Price is able to save that one from going out of bounds. Richards will drive in. And a wedgie. How often do you see that in the game?
You don't see it all that often. I've seen ones get caught up on top of the basket, but that feels more like a pickup play right there. And we'll see who's going to come get this one, if it's going to be a... I was hoping we'd see some big football kid come out and just jump up there and knock that one out. I think it was a football kid, but I don't think he jumped all the way up there.
First free throw from Richards is good. Second one is good as well.
Yeah, and she's 100% from the line tonight, Reese. She's been making a lot of those shots, and she's definitely she has 3 fouls, I think, but she's made her shots offensively, which is proving, obviously this isn't a game where you really worry about foul trouble at this point, that you don't necessarily need her at the final buzzer beater in overtime kind of thing, but she's been making those great plays, and Coach Walker believes in her to not get into further foul trouble than this.
There she is with a great steal on the defensive end. Price with it. Here is Richards for a three. Knocks it down. Richards coming alive now. 14 points for her. 3 of 5 shooting overall, 6 of 6 from the free throw line. She's up to 5 steals as well. Great play on both ends of the court. As Donovan rejects that one. LeBrie trying to go up with a jumper. As we take a look at the replay, Bailey Donovan doesn't even leave the ground and gets a rejection on that one. Here she is contesting. Great shot there as well. Porter with it. Beautiful bounce pass.
And a beautiful finish, Reese. You can't miss out on that one as Richards gets her 16th point of the game, but great pass, great finish there from the Eagles.
As it looked like the Thomas bench reacted to that bounce pass even. They were in awe of it. There's Broussard. Coolin with it. Husson in a bit of a zone now. And that will be a turnover going. Ball going to Husson again. Price now with it. Richards, right side. Lengel to Porter. Porter drives in with the left. Can't get a foul. And that will be Thomas basketball with 1:15 remaining in the third quarter. Benecki with a great feed down low to Broussard, who cannot finish the open layup.
Yeah, and that's one she's going to want to have back. She kind of sneaked in behind there, and nobody was covering her, which isn't something you always see from the Eagles. It's going to be something that will give Coach Walker something to talk about in practice, about something they can work on from such a dominant performance. But that's one she's going to want to have back later on, as that was about an easy layup right there.
Lengel is able to knock down the mid-range jumper. That is Haggerty coming up short on that three. And Richards taking it strong to the rim. Beautiful finish from Hannah Richards. Looks like she kind of just flicked that one up there, hoping for something, and it just happened to drop in.
Yeah, another great finish from her. We've seen her shoot really well, but that was one of those strong layups that the Eagles are well known for, but that was a great job by her to get inside and make that. 7 for 7 now from free throw.
She's up to 19 points on the day so far. As almost comes away with her 6th steal of the game. 15 seconds remaining in this third quarter. Labrie with it. Floater, short. Rebound to Richards, checks the clock. 5 seconds. 2 seconds. Richard drives in. Cannot finish at the buzzer. Anna Richards, an impressive third quarter there, both ends of the floor. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Husson Eagles Sports Network.
Nothing runs like a deer.
Whether you have a lawn to mow, a driveway to plow, or a garden to till, our customers know you can't beat the quality and reliability of a John Deere.
And right now at Greenway Equipment Sales, we have a great offer for you.
Get 0% APR fixed rate financing for 72 months on a John Deere compact utility tractor with a 6-year powertrain warranty.
For more offers, go to greenwayequipment.com.
See the Smith Brothers today at Greenway Equipment Sales, Ellsworth and Bangor.
Fourth quarter action just starting up in this one. As we have Lafreniere with the ball. Over to Henderson on the right side. She'll put up a jumper. No good. Rebound comes down to Loring. Here's Duarte. Loring with a step back. No good. Lafreniere with a rebound. Gets it ahead to Alderman. Butera just checked into the game for the first time. Alderman with it now. Butera left side. Thomas looking for something. There's Lafreniere with a jumper. No good. Rebound comes down to Loring again. Her 5th rebound in this one. As Martinez drives baseline. And they're going to say that one is staying with Husson. Duarte catches right side. Loring outside to Martinez for the jumper. No good. Loring with the offensive rebound. Cannot put it in. Lafreniere with another rebound. Alderman. Now Lafreniere again at the top of the key. Haggerty. Over to Butera. Now Alderman with it. Tries to fit it between 2 of her teammates, and neither one of them wanted it. Scanling the pull-up jumper. Rolls out. And another steal for Husson here as Loring comes away with that one. 20 steals as a team for Husson now in this one. Duarte for 3. Rolls out.
And how many has she had in this one that looked like they were going in all the way, and then right at the last second, they kind of roll around the rim or bounce out. She's at 14, I want to say, but feels like she could be at a lot more than that.
Just having a few shots bounce out, take a couple of bad bounces. Like you mentioned, she's had a few that have just missed.
Well, it shows how good of a player she is that even her misses almost went in kind of thing. That you see some players that we'll be talking about, oh, man, they've only missed a couple, and those couple were air balls. But with Duarte, her couple misses have basically gone into the basket almost.
As there's a jump ball on that play. Possession will stay with Husson. Loring catches mid-range. She knocks it down. First bucket for Sydney Loring. Was 0 for 3 before that one. Also 6 rebounds in this game as well. Tara over to Lafreniere. Alderman with it right side. She'll put up a 3. That one's no good. Rebound. Scanling. And they're going to say Thomas basketball underneath the hoop. As Duarte is able to deflect the pass, inbounds pass, and come away with that one. Schoberg with a great fake.
Yeah, and Reese, that makes a point for every single player who has played for the Eagles here today. And it's just, we talked about in the first half that it's been a team game, and it certainly has that. I think all the players on the active roster have played in this one and have scored points now and have contributed out there. And the Eagles, we've seen them have a lot of dominant performances this season, and it's another one where Coach Walker can get all of her players out there, let them all get game time, and get that feeling of contributing to the team.
As we will see Lacey Scanlon go to the free throw line for a pair here. As we see a bunch of subs also come in for Thomas. As we have number 42, Christina Perry, number 33, Chloe Labrie, number 22, Hannah Coolin, and number 30 as well, Treya Broussard.
A lot of size too, Reese. 3 out of those 4 players were 5'10" and above, and I saw in that late second quarter that when Thomas went on a little bit of a run there, that they had the size advantage on the Eagles as you had Donovan and Lengel out, and I think Coach Coleman's trying to do that again here late in this one.
As Coach Coleman catches a pass on the sideline over there. Good hands from him.
Yeah, that's not a statement you want to be hearing if you're a coach, that you don't want to be on the receiving end of passes out there. But I think this is a team that we talked about. They're very young. A few years from now, this core, if they can stick together with it, instead of having 10 freshmen, they're going to have 10 seniors.
Right.
And you see it a lot with these new programs, that they get this roster of new players, and it takes them a little bit while to adjust. They don't have that senior experience out there, but 3 or 4 years later, if they stick together, all of a sudden they're a good basketball team.
Especially if everybody stays together, stays on this team, they build that chemistry up. Like you said, a team with 10 seniors would certainly be very dangerous, all that experience. As a cross-court pass, as Duarte puts up another 3 and cashes it in. She's up to 17 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists for today.
Yeah. And back to that conversation we were just having about playing together for years. I know from my own experience, I played soccer in high school, and there was a team my freshman year that they were terrible, and I think they went 0-16 or whatever. And then by senior year, they had a whole starting roster of seniors. All of their subs were seniors, and all of a sudden, where did they come from kind of thing? That for 2 years they were the worst team in the conference, and Duarte can't miss right now, Reese.
Duarte hits her 4th 3 on the night. She's up to 20 points in this one, as there's another steal from Husson. 25 on the day. As that pass gets tipped, still finds its way to Loring down low. Like you mentioned, Duarte on fire here in this one. Up to 20 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals as well. Really getting it done in every facet. Started with it up top. And they're going to say that went off the leg of Scanlon, and it will stay Thomas basketball. 10 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Bouchard, top of the key. That is Labrie fighting with Sydney Loring at the top of the key. Possession arrow points to Thomas. 3 seconds now on the shot clock as the ball comes in, and there will be a foul on the inbound.
Fouls on Husson, Vanessa Duarte, her first, team second.
That foul will be on Duarte. That will also reset the shot clock up to 20 seconds. As that pass gets stolen by Martinez. She gets fouled by Coolin.
Yeah, and that was that multi-sport defensive awareness from her. That Martinez is also a lacrosse player at Husson. And I believe their season is just about to get underway. I'm not quite sure how that works with the overlapping seasons. I know they just started practices this past weekend, but she's someone who has a lot of athleticism and a lot of game awareness out there, that she kind of reads plays before they're happening.
Very high IQ player. As that pass goes out of bounds. Here is Martinez with the ball up top. Finds Loring on the right side. She'll drive baseline, can't finish. Here is Coolin now for Thomas. 3 minutes remaining in this game. As that is Perry, who gets fouled down low by Loring.
It's been a very low foul game as well, Reese. That we've seen some very aggressive contests here, but this one's definitely hasn't really gone that way. It's been a very clean game. Obviously, there's been fouls. It's basketball. There's going to be those kind of loose fouls, but we haven't really seen any, like, aggressive plays out there as Schoberg makes some nice moves inside.
Able to finish with the left hand as well. Low fouling game, like you mentioned. Only 10 total fouls for Thomas in this one, and only 11 for Husson throughout the whole game. It's been not a lot of stoppage either. Not very many timeouts. It's been a very quick-paced game. As there's a beautiful pass from Martinez. I don't know how Schoberg was able to get her hands on it. Can't hit the floater, and Langle pokes it out of bounds. Two minutes remaining here at Newman Gymnasium for the first game of our doubleheader. Here's Coolin with it. She'll put up a 3. That one's no good, and Duarte comes away with the rebound. Number 6 for her. Vicker, top of the key. Martinez with it, going baseline. Finds Duarte in the corner. You betcha! Three-pointer number 5 for Vanessa Duarte. 23 points for her on her senior night.
I think it's that tweener. You can't really quite say senior
evening.
Senior evening.
Three-pointer, Coolin, no good. Langle comes away with a rebound. As we see a timeout. Kissy Walker getting Vanessa Duarte, the senior, out of the game here with a minute remaining as she gets a standing ovation.
Yeah, and a great game from her, Reese. She wound up having 23 points in this one, along with 5 assists, 4 steals, 6 rebounds. She really filled up the stat book on her senior evening, which I think we're going to copyright that term for all future games. But great matchup from her, great game, and she certainly came to play and showed why she is one of the most important players in recent Husson history.
As there's a foul on Loring on the floor underneath the hoop with 36 seconds remaining. Coolin gets it at the top of the key. Trying to feed it down low to Lafferty, and Loring comes away with a steal. Martinez up ahead. Schoberg just a bit in front. Couldn't handle that pass.
Yeah, that was a good idea by Martinez. It was just one of those bang-bang plays where it needs to be perfect kind of thing. It was just a little bit in front of her, but great vision from her to try to even fit that pass in there.
Coolin now feeding Perry, who loses her footing. And they're going to call a travel. 13 seconds remaining here as you figure Husson is just going to dribble the timeout. And that is exactly what they will do. Martinez at the volleyball line will let the clock hit 0. 95-22, our final score in this one. Husson really dominated on both ends of the court, coming away with 28 steals in this one, forcing 45 Thomas turnovers. Defensive pressure, again, big key in this one. Avery, what are some of the biggest takeaways that you got from this game?
I think that's some of the best basketball I've seen the Eagles play. And if you're a Maine Maritime, I would be going back and watching this game, thinking forward into the future that that is the prime Eagles squad that could go on a run this playoff season. And that is a team, the Eagles are one of the top teams to beat in the conference right now. And they're showing it that they scored 95 points with some of their starters only playing 20 minutes or so, that a lot of these, and Bailey Donovan only scoring 2. You scored 95 with Donovan only getting 2. That's not something you always see. And the Eagles are definitely, they have Thomas's number all time. This makes it 33 games in a row the Husson Eagles have won. The Husson Eagles women's team has won against Thomas, who haven't won since 2006. But we talked about it. This is a young team. This is a team that a few years from now could be a good program as long as they stick together, keep the same head coach, keep the same players out there. And I think Thomas is definitely going to be a team in the future who could start trying to upset that 33-game win streak.
As we will run over some quick game numbers before we take a break for the next game. For Husson leading the way, it was Vanessa Duarte, of course. 23 points on 5 of 11 shooting from deep, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 steals, contributing all over the place. Hannah Richards, big third quarter. She contributed 19 points, 7 of 7 from the line, 5 steals, 3 assists, 3 boards. McVicker added 11 points. Jordan Langle had 8. Porter with 6. Beals with 5. 3 different Eagles had 4. 4 different Eagles had 2. Carly Price had 3. Like we mentioned, every Eagle scoring that played in this one. And for the Thomas side, Jordan led the way with 7 points and 8 rebounds. Broussard added 4 points. Perry with 4. Coolin with 3. Henderson with 2, and Lafreniere added 2 as well. 95-22. Don't go anywhere. We have another game coming up at 5. It'll be the Husson men taking on the Thomas Terriers. You're watching the Husson Eagles Sports Network.